And a good evening. Welcome out to Little Woodrow's. Time to talk Lamar University football with Coach Pete Rossomando as the Cardinals getting set to wrap up the 2023 season this coming Saturday at Pro Woods Humphrey Stadium. A battle of the border. McNeese State coming to town. That ought to be a lot of fun. But first off, going back to last week, a tough 13-point loss, 37-24 to Nichols. A team that's run the table this far through the Southland Conference. They are the conference champs. They will advance to the FCS playoffs. And I thought it was a team that you stood toe-to-toe with on their home field nearly the entire ball game.
I thought we played tough. We played hard. Our guys as they have all year, showed up and kind of rose up to the standard on that day, and thought we played well at times. And obviously you made too many mistakes and against a really good football team. And I think that's a good football team. I think it's it's built the right way. It's built from the inside out. Both lines are really good, and they got a couple of really good running backs. Yeah. And I think that their overall their defense is really, really strong. So I think that team is going to go far. And I think, Coach Rebo does a great job with them. And, I thought they were a classy group of guys, and the coaches were great. And it was just a heck of a game. And we're just blessed to be in that game and have a chance to win a conference championship that late in the season. And, I thought our kids, all week did a really good job. We were a little banged up going in, but, those guys all played. And, there's no excuses once they get on the field. So.
They ran the Gudenheim, and, he's, if not the best, one of the best running backs you've lined up against all year. And they put him all over the place. He's a big guy. They ran him in the Wildcat, just a lot to handle.
Yeah, I actually like Spears better. I thought Spears is a much more explosive back, and obviously he showed it with some long runs, and he had the long pass reception for a touchdown. I think he's a complete back. I think he does a really good job with the ball in his hands, and he does a good job with the ball not in his hands when he's got a block. And so I think he's a complete back. But Guggenheim gives you problems because he can run the offense. He does a lot of Wildcat stuff as a quarterback, and he handles it pretty well. And they got a two-headed monster over there, and they're doing a good job of utilizing it, and that's one of their strengths. And they lean on it. So I think that's a smart way to go about business.
I know you're worried about your club, but just looking at the Southland Conference as a whole, Nichols getting the automatic bid with UIW being a top 25 team, you'd expect they would get in at large. Can you see Nichols and or UIW making a run in the playoffs?
It all depends on health. I think how they get into the playoffs and where their health of their team
and
is.
Matchups.
And matchups. And I do think UIW's got their hands full this week with Houston Christian. I think Houston Christian's a much improved football team. I think they got some confidence going in there. I think they can play defense, and I think all those things are something that has given them trouble. So it should be an interesting matchup as they go out and play there. But I could see them. Yeah, I could for sure see them. Both teams, if they get to the playoffs, I think they can make some noise.
Talking about some individual performances, Robert Coleman, 289 yards passing, a couple of touchdown passes. So just talk about his performance on Saturday.
Good. I thought there was a lot of really, really good highlights on Robert's day. We ran them a lot more. Mm-hmm. We knew based on the defense that they played, we had to run the quarterback because they if not, you're going to be a guy short, in the run game. So we had to run him, and he was successful doing it. And unfortunately, he put the ball on the ground once, which inside the 20, and you just can't do that in that kind of game. And I thought he took some hits he probably shouldn't have, and he could have avoided by going out of bounds or getting down. And I think those are learning opportunities for Robert, and I think he will. And I think he'll move forward and be better for it. And he threw the one interception was a tip. I just I don't know you're going to do anything about that. That's really not on his plate. He was in the right spot. He was going to the right guy. I think it just happens. And unfortunately the big nose guard was standing right there to pick up the tip. So and then the one in the second half on the third drive, I think it was. we had a play call we thought we liked, and he got flushed out of pocket, and being flushed, he was going to his left, had to throw back to his right, and kind of got the ball sailed on him a little bit, and right into the waiting secondary guy's hand. So I thought overall he played a solid game. He gave us a chance to win for sure, and we just each week he gets better and better at learning what we're doing and what we want him to do, and I feel great about Robert, and I like who he is as a person. I like who he is as a leader, and the thing I love about him is he'll take all of this on him, and that's
and he'll learn from it.
Yeah, but that's the sign of a great leader. Is he doesn't put blame on anybody. He just says, "Hey, that's on me."
Couple of receivers talking about Kendon Fusilier, 77 yards receiving and a touchdown. Devin Gibbs, 66 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, Devin was excellent. I mean, he had six catches.
Yeah, for 66 yards.
So he had 6 catches, and I think I think we threw it to him 6 times. So he played well. He's been playing well. He's I think should be an all-conference tight end as far as I'm concerned. I don't see a guy in the conference that's better than him overall as a blocker and a run and a receiver. So I think that he's having a great year. And Kendon, he showed up big time for us, and we had a couple guys go down in the receiver room, and Kendon he's a Swiss Army knife. He can go play inside, outside receiver, play the slot. He just gives us so much versatility, and he's such a competitor. And even the touchdown he had, man, he just competed for that ball, and it was great to see him kind of step out a little bit and get in the end zone.
So on one of his catches, looked like he might have got banged up a little bit. Sandwiched between a couple defenders. They pop him, and he still hangs on to the football. Gets a couple yards after that.
Yeah, you're not going to find many tougher guys than him. So, he hasn't missed a practice this week, and I don't think obviously he's not going to miss the game if he hasn't missed practice. So, he's ready to go. He's a vicious competitor, and he loves to win, and I think that's that's one of the great things about having him around.
Later on in the show, we're going to have a couple Cardinals stop by and visit with them. One of them is going to be Josh O'Feely, 13 tackles on Saturday, 12 of them solo.
Yeah, I mean he's a tackle machine. Yeah. Transfer from Brown, I think he's been just what we needed in the secondary, and I think he probably wishes he had a couple more, because I think he could have had 20 tackles, to be honest with you, if he made all the tackles that he had an opportunity for. But great having him out there. Super smart guy, gets us lined up right. Proud of him where he is right now. He's battling through a lot of nicks and bruises, but. He just because of the way he plays the game, he's so physical.
Second leading tackler on Saturday, local kid right out of Beaumont Westbrook High School, Christian Pugh. Christian had 9 tackles, nearly double-digit tackles for him.
Yeah, and I think what they were doing offensively, we knew we were going to force a lot of their run game to the safeties, and that those guys would have to tackle, and obviously they did.
We are at Little Woodrow's talking with Coach Pete Rossomando. Cardinals coming off that loss to Nichols, getting ready for McNeese coming up on Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff. We're back with more at Little Woodrow's on News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann along with Coach Pete Rossomando. We're at Little Woodrow's talking Lamar University football. Cardinals and McNeese coming up on Saturday afternoon. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Really looking forward to that. Again, 10 games in. Cardinals are 5-5, and I know Coach don't want to reflect on this because he's concerned about today and not yesterday. But what a job this coaching staff has done in his first year here at Lamar University. I tell you. And I'm not saying it just because he's sitting to my left. Well, maybe. But no, I'm not saying it because he's sitting to my left. But this is a program that had won 5 total games over the last 3 years combined. And we've done that this year alone and have a chance to go above 500. And as we get set, Coach, to move into the final game, just talk about your first year here, the offseason coming in. The first 10 games. Just talk about what this meant to you.
It's been a whirlwind since I've gotten here. I think it was December 9th or 10th was was the day I was hired, and just been, really had my focus on the team and the team and the team, and that's pretty much it. And recruiting and making sure we can fill in the gaps of what we didn't have, and getting our team. And you'll talk to one of those guys today, Josh, and then just getting our team positive and feeling good about where we were on offense and defense. And you're going to talk to one of those guys in Kalen Griffin. So, the guys that have been here and then the guys that just came in, I think those guys, the main focus was to get a team, one unit, and those guys to play together and start to believe in themselves and believe in the things that we were doing, and obviously get to know a lot of people in the community. And, we did a lot of that, and, we want to continue to do that and get better. But the Beaumont community has been amazing, and I think that our administration is a national championship administration, with Dr. Taylor and Jeff O'Malley and pretty much everybody else on the team is been unbelievable. And, I feel great about where we are, and I love where we're going. And, I don't like being 5-5. I feel like it's kissing your sister. I don't think you really have accomplished what we set out to do, which is to make sure that we're, competing for conference championships. And
you've done that in your first year, competing for a conference championship.
I know, but you never know when you're going to get back there. So when you're there, you got to take advantage of those situations. So hopefully we'll be back there many, many times. I mean, that's obviously going to be the plan. But, I think I'm one of those guys that hates to lose more than they like to win. And, I like to get out there and, I want to make sure that we get our guys prepared each and every week. And, we try to take it one game at a time. And that's really what we're doing this week, and only focusing on McNeese. But I'm proud of. I tell our players all the time how proud I am of them, because it ain't easy. The Southland Conference likes it when Lamar's not good. They know they like it when there's an easy win on their schedule. And I think our guys have changed the way people think about Lamar, and they know that every time they step on the field with them, it's going to be a battle. And we want to make sure that we get the best players here, and obviously the best members of the community, and that we continue to grow this program in a fashion that we're going to compete for national championships, not just conference championships.
And of course, that's the level you want to be at, and of course, Lamar's going to get there. You talk about the attitude of this team. It's still positive right now. It's a very positive attitude, and that's just not happening on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday night. This is something that starts in the off season, and you work your way up. And a lot of folks might think, hey, you go out on a Saturday, you play the game. There's a lot more behind it than Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, there's Saturday afternoon. That's only the cherry on top. I mean, we got so much other things that we have to do throughout the course of the week. Our players got to go to class. Our players got to go to study hall. They have to lift weights. They have to, obviously do meetings, and they got to get on the field and practice. And all those things encompass, hopefully a winning season. And that's what we strive for every single year is to win every game that we play. And we didn't do that this year, and we're not there yet. But that's what we strive to do every day, and we work really, really hard for it. That's why you don't want to waste any of those opportunities, because you work so hard. We worked. I think we counted 8 months, for 11 games. You work 8 months to play 11 games, and you don't want to waste those opportunities. And I think our guys are positive for the most part. We're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, so there's hormones involved. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and they got lives at home, and we're constantly mentoring them to become better young men every day, and get ready for the real world. And Josh O'Feely, who you're going to talk to, he's getting ready to go out in the real world, and we just want to make sure that when they leave here, they're better equipped to go in the real world and be successful. And that's to deal with adversity. That's to make sure they can, get up when they're knocked to the ground, and get up off the ground and get ready to go to work the next day. So that's really what we've been doing. And, I'm pleased with where we are, but, obviously I'm not content. We need to just keep driving.
And we'll continue that drive on Saturday. Talking about Josh real quick, he's a one-year guy here. Yeah. And Brown, obviously, in the Ivy League, making him, I go through without saying, he's great in the classroom. And from Katy. So actually he gets to come back home for that final year of eligibility and play close to home. Yeah,
he did. And we're so glad he did. And, I know our football team is. And, he made a huge impact right away, with the way he carries on and the way he carries himself and handles his business. And, those things are all critical for me as you're building a program to have role models like that. I told our team the other day, you want to look at leaders, man. Those are the kind of guys that, when you're a bum in anything, you're usually a bum in everything. And when you're great in everything, in one thing, usually you're great in everything. And I think, Josh kind of proves that. He's really good in the classroom. He's really good on the field. He's really good in meetings. Great person to be around. He's always going to be great in the community. And those are the kind of people you want in your program. And, Kalen Griffin, same way. Same exact way. Great leader, always come to work every day, encouraging his teammates, getting those guys out there. Great student, going to graduate. All those things are really, really critical as you're building a program. You want to surround them with great people and great role models.
And you say going to graduate, and that means so much for you as a coach, your coaching staff, because not only do these guys get out and bust their tails every day in practice, bust their tails in a game, they're also in a classroom or maybe doing it online, however it is, they're getting the work done academically.
Yeah, usually it's a combination of both, a little online, a little in the classroom, and some of them are doing internships as they're as we're in spring practice, and they're running back and forth, and they got a lot of stuff going on, and they're handling a lot of things. They're multitasking, which obviously, as you get older, that becomes a skill you want to have. And, it makes you more marketable on the job market. And I think that we can give those guys that skill. It's going to help them later on down the line.
I want to talk real quick about your first year here, your family. I know your wife and son are here, and your daughter, I think, was still out on the Clemson. She's at Clemson?
No, she's at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, but so she's in the region. But still, has the family adapted, and how have they accepted Southeast Texas?
Good. Yeah, I think everyone's been great. My son's obviously they're in the second round of the playoffs. They play tomorrow night at Katy Legacy Stadium, and play Needville. So that'll be a great game for me to go watch tomorrow night with my wife. And she's been obviously just getting to know the staff, the families of the staff members, and putting on tailgates for them, and in the coaches' offices before games and after games and during games. So, she's a great coach's wife, I have to say. She lets me do the things I need to do to be successful, and doesn't ask for a whole bunch during the season. And then once the season ends, the honey-do list comes out. So that's why I like to get in the playoffs. I want to see that honey-do list.
Yeah, get played more. The more games you've got, the less you got to do. Right. And it's kind of cool. I guess the football god's looking down on you this week because with the Cardinals playing at home on a Saturday, your son's from Lumberton. The Raiders play, as you mentioned, tomorrow night on a Thursday. So that's got to be very special for you to go watch your son and his high school team in the second round of the high school state football playoffs. Yeah,
the football gods have smiled down on me this week. So, I'm excited to watch him play, and I know that he's excited to play, obviously, in a great venue and in front of a lot of people. And, hopefully they win and move on to the next round. So, and I know that Kalen Griffin will talk a little bit of smack about his guys from Chapel Hill, who's they're in that same 4A lineup,
region. So, yeah. Well, sorry, Kalen. Hope the Raiders get them if they match up.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7:28 again. We are at Little Woodrow's talking Lamar University football. It is the Coach Pete Rossomando show. We're back on News Talk 560 KLVI. It's the Battle of the Border. Harold Mann along with Coach Pete Rossomando here at Little Woodrow's. Cardinals getting ready to take on McNeese State. Battle of the Border, Battle of the Sabine, whatever you may call it, a rival game, and that's always something special.
Yeah, always special. You throw the records out, and it's just two teams that are going to battle because they want to make sure they get bragging rights, and I don't think Lamar's had it in quite some time, so we're working really, really hard this week to try to make sure that we get that Battle of the Border trophy back here and where it belongs in Beaumont.
McNeese State, 1-9, the one win, a forfeit win over Northwestern State, so they've not won a game on the field, but don't let that fool you.
No, they switched quarterbacks a couple weeks ago, and the quarterbacks kind of got them settled in offensively, and they do got talent on both sides, and they got the leading tackler, I think, in the nation.
Yeah,
at Davey, the middle linebacker.
Mike at Davey, 132 tackles.
Yeah, and then he's he's a force on defense, and he makes a lot of plays, and he makes a lot of guys right because he's good at the linebacker position. So it's going to be a heck of a battle. It always is anyway. And even last year, Lamar at 1-8 going into the game, or 1-9 going into the game.
Yeah.
Gave him a heck of a run, and I don't think it's going to be much different. This year we're gonna have to go battle against those guys, and the good news is it's at home.
Yep.
It's going to be beautiful weather, and we're going to have an opportunity to play another football game as a team. That's always like it gives you mixed emotions, because you work so hard with these guys, and we've been through so much together. But we want to make sure we go out the right way too, and that's obviously with a win.
You talk about emotions, although you've only had them for one season. There's going to be some guys out there putting on that Lamar Cardinal uniform for the final time.
Yeah, and some of them are 1-year guys, but Trey Hall and Josh and I look at leadership ability and leadership qualities, and I watch the way those guys practice every week, and I watch the way those guys work in the weight room and how they carry themselves, and I just feel like I'm really proud of them for who they are as people, and even the guys that have been in the program that are going to walk, and I watch those guys every single day battle, and haven't had a lot of success here, and what's to see the new guy coming in is going to know what the heck he's talking about, because the last couple guys haven't, and I think those guys have bought in. They did a great job of doing everything we've asked them to do for the most part, and sometimes not asked them but told them, but they really did a great job of getting this team back where it should be. And I believe what I said in my press conference. The time for Lamar football is now. There's no reason to wait, and we needed to do that, and we needed to come alive, and we did this year. And I just think with our facilities and with the people that we have in our infrastructure, the sky's going to be the limit here. And I thought that in my interview, and I think the same thing right now. After sometimes, like they say, the recruiting weekend's over. You show up and all of a sudden, no one's supporting you, no one's doing anything, and they're saying, "Oh no, you don't have this, and you don't have that." This was complete opposite. They gave me more than I ever thought I would need, and really helped us all along the way. And I feel like I'm blessed, and I'm in the right spot, and I think that we're gonna do great things here at Lamar.
When it comes to recruiting at Lamar University, you bring a young athlete onto our facilities. You're not going to find anything better in the Southland.
No, not from top to bottom.
Right.
I mean, you can walk them over the Nacious Arena and the Montaigne Center, and I don't think no one has that type of arena. And obviously, right next door is Provost Humphrey, which is 16,000 seat stadium, and state-of-the-art $1 million scoreboard and sound system. And obviously you have the building in the end zone with the team room and weight room and beautiful locker room and players lounge and, coaches' offices and meeting space for every position group. I just think that doesn't happen at FCS programs across the country. And, our university's made a commitment to it. And I feel like once they get here, and they see the red and black, and there's no real better color combinations than the red and black. So I think that gets people juiced up as well, and I think that things are only getting better. They're only getting better. So we're feel like we're blessed from a recruiting standpoint. I like being. You want to be, in my opinion, you want to be in a place where football is important. In Texas, it is.
You talk about, of course, we still have McNeese coming up at 3:00. On Saturday afternoon, and I know there's going to be a huge crowd out there.
Come on out
for the game. Come on out. But after Saturday, it's time to get ready for 2024. How's recruiting going right now?
Great. Yeah, I mean, recruiting's going well. Our high school recruiting is just about wrapping up, and we got just about all our spots filled with our high school recruits, and they'll visit campus in a couple weeks after Thanksgiving, and that, and I think we're going to have a December signing day, and we'll have another one in January where we'll have our signing day party for our alums and our special guests, where we'll announce our class, and at that time we'll be able to announce any mid-year transfers as well.
And then, of course, the traditional signing day in February. Do you like the early signing period in December?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's twofold positive. I think number one, it gives the high school the kids and the coaches a chance to kind of take a deep sigh of relief, because if you don't sign in December, you have all that lag time where guys can sign transfers and lose your scholarship. So I think it gives the guys an opportunity to get signed up and have a spot and make sure they have a great place to go. And I also think for coaches, it just gives you an idea of what you need for the next signing period. And it clears a lot of things up because most of the big schools are done at that time.
You know, you can't mention names, of course, but you did fill some needed gaps, and that includes local talent. That's what we like.
Oh, yeah. There's for sure a lot of local talent. And, local, if you consider Houston local, for sure. Yeah, I think that, we've done a real good job in Louisiana as well. We got, a couple guys from Louisiana that have committed to us, so I feel really good about this class. We have 3 or 4 spots still remaining that we're working on, and we'll hope to have that filled by the first week in December.
Okay, again, let's talk about Saturday before we wrap up our segment with Coach Rossomando and McNeese State. A little bit about them. We did mention they've not won a game on the field, but like you said, rival games.
Yeah, and talented. They run a spread offense. But they use 2 tight ends at times, and they have a good offensive line. They're quality up front, and I think, this new quarterback they have has really settled them into what they want to be, and they got enough skill on the perimeter to make plays, and their running backs are pretty solid. So I think overall they're a really solid team on the offensive side of the ball, and defensively they're going to challenge you with some man-to-man and put a lot of guys in the box to stop the run, and we got to do a great job of putting hats on hats and giving our running backs a chance to run the football. And because if you don't run the football, you don't control the clock and you don't control the game. So I think that's what we really need to work on focusing on.
All right, before we get you out of here, we're going to talk about rivalry. When a few weeks ago when we had Mid-County Madness, the Beaumont Bowl, the Battle of Lumberton LCM, we asked you who your high school rival was.
Yeah.
Boston U. Who is your college rival?
Oh, UMass. Yeah, for sure. UMass was our rival.
How'd you do against them in your tenure?
I was 1-3 against them, but I won my last year.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You win your senior year.
We won our senior year, and we were close. I mean, we had, obviously like any rivalry game, it was really, really close every game, but the last one we got them pretty good.
Good deal. So. Talk about from the time we're sitting here until that ball puts on the tee, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, what's happening?
Practice tomorrow morning. Give those guys a chance to rest and recover, get them back in the facility on Friday at 2, and get to work on the mental preparation for the game on Friday. It's more mental preparation, and do a little team bonding with a little team meal on Friday, and then get up Saturday, do a little walkthrough, and, man, get ready to roll. It's kind of been a routine for us. So,
tell you what, weather's going to be great. We're really excited. It's going to wrap up your segment here, Coach, and been a lot of fun out here at Little Woodrow's all year. Yeah. And good luck. Good luck to your son's team tomorrow night over in Katy. Now, remember, there's 2 stadiums. Make sure you go to the correct one. There's 2 stadiums over there.
They gave us the right address.
Yeah, they're separated by a parking lot, so it's the one with the lights on. Coach, thank you. Gerald. Hey, real quick here, before we let you go, just talk about the 2 young men that we're going to be talking to the next 2 segments.
Well, everybody knows KG, Kalen Griffin, our running back, and he's been the start running back for a couple years here, and our workhorse, guy that's back there, every game, and he's been the guy dotting that I every week, and does a great job in all phases of the offense, as I'm sure everybody knows. He can catch the ball. He's not afraid to block people in protection, even though he didn't have a great one last week. Right, KG? He knows.
He'll make up for it this week.
Yeah, he'll make up for it this week. And then Josh O'Feely, our safety, and the guy that's our leading tackler on our team, and has been a great leader for us, and real fun guy to be around, and just excited for him to hopefully get out of here with a win.
All right, Coach, thank you. Gonna get another break in, and when we come back, we'll be having Lamar Cardinal on with us. Stick around on News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann back with you out at Little Woodrow, the Coach Pete Rossomando show. As you can see, this is not Coach Pete Rossomando. Kalen Griffin joins us. 5'10", 206-pound junior. Welcome.
How's it going? I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you here. Tyler Chapel Hill, just talk about some of your biggest high school memories.
Okay, so if I had to choose one high school memory, it'd probably be my sophomore year. I had just got on varsity, and we were playing Kilgore, and it was first game of our district, and I had a really good game. I had
Did you beat them?
Yeah, we beat them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
it's always good to beat the Bulldogs, man.
No, we beat them, and we showed them who the real Bulldogs were. I had 5 touchdowns.
Now, was Chapel Hill the Bulldogs as well?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, I was playing quarterback at the time, and I had 300 passing, 150 on the ground. So it was a good day. It was a real good day.
Now, you left after your sophomore year, played TAPS ball. What was that like in the private league?
Brook Hill was a really good experience for me. It's actually a boarding school, which a lot of people don't know. So I got to meet a lot of people from around the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to meet people from Germany, from Italy, Finland, people that I still talk to this day. So it was for sure a good experience, and we had a good season. Went to the first round of the playoffs, and I really enjoyed playing TAPS. A lot of people don't give it the respect it deserves.
It's a tough league.
It is.
It's a really tough league. And then you go back Chapel Hill for your senior year. And then we're talking about rivalries as we have McNeese State coming in on Saturday. Who's Chapel Hill's rivalry?
Our rival is Kilgore and White House, and my senior year actually I tore my meniscus after the second game of the season, and I wasn't able to play anymore for the rest of the season. But
how tough was that?
It was really tough. It was the first time that I hadn't been able to play football, while my team was out there playing. So it was for sure. It was for sure a tough time, but it happened. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad to be here today.
Well, White House, they had a pretty good quarterback over there at one time.
No, they did. Yeah. I look up to them.
You went to Rice for 2 years. That experience, how was that for you?
I mean, I definitely feel like Rice will always be, a stepping stone of my career, my journey. I was recruited by them out of high school. I actually got to play Coach Ross when I was at Rice when he was at Charlotte.
How'd you do?
We had a pretty good game. They ended up winning in overtime.
Wow.
Yeah.
we don't talk about that.
No. But it was a really good experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But I'm glad to be here now. I'm a Lamar Cardinal. So
we love it here with Lamar Cardinal. We don't really want to reflect on the past too much because we're talking about today. But just talk about the attitude change, the environment, the atmosphere. What has changed from last year to this year?
Man, I honestly can't even put it into words just because it has been a full 360 change from this year and last year. Last year, I feel like we weren't really a team, we weren't really a tight-knit group. And this year when Coach Ross came in, he kind of, put all of that to bed and really helped us learn. And, we were doing team bonding things and stuff like that, which helped us become closer as a team. And I have to give a lot of the glory to our strength coach too, Coach Pat Walker. He's an animal. I love him, and he gets us right, training and getting ready for the season. But I mean, the attitude of our team is just so different from last year. We got a little confidence to ourselves. We know what we can do, and now it's just about going out there and putting it on the field and doing what we know we can.
Well, putting it on the field. Let's talk about that Saturday afternoon. McNeese State coming to town. Just talk about that rivalry and it's a huge game for multiple purposes. It's McNeese State. It's the battle of the border, but you guys could finish above 500.
Yes, sir. So, we definitely, have it in the back of our head that it is a rivalry game. But at the end of the day, we know that as long as we go out there and handle our business and do what we're coached to do, then everything should work out just fine. And I had a bad taste in my mouth last year because we weren't able to hold up the trophy, the Battle of the Border trophy. And this year we definitely want to get that done and
keep it right here in Beaumont.
Yes, sir. We got to bring that trophy back home. So that's definitely something on the top of the totem pole for us that we need to do.
What's been your biggest moment at Lamar University to this point?
I mean, I just feel like
because you still have more time here, so that's like it's not over. Still more time. But what's been your biggest moment?
I feel like my biggest moment was. I feel like our biggest moment was, if I had to pick a game, I would say Sela this year, just because we went through a lot. We went 0-3 for the first couple games, this year, and
that was a brutal schedule, man.
Yeah, it was.
That was brutal,
and we knew. But the thing, it was brutal, but we felt like we could have won. We could have won some of those games,
right.
and it sat in our mouth, and so. We took care of business against Houston Christian, and Sela was just like a game we knew we needed to go win, and we went out there and we did everything that we could to go win that game. So that was a pretty big game in my opinion because they did beat us last year, and we knew we really wanted to beat those guys and win that game.
All right, let's have a little fun now. Let's talk about some of your Cardinal teammates. You familiar with American Idol?
No, not really.
It's the singing show.
Okay.
Which one of your teammates would win American Idol? Which one of your teammates kicked off the show the first night? Basically, who's the best singer? Who's the worst singer among your football team?
I'll probably say I'll start with the worst singer. The worst singer, in my opinion, is probably Robert Coleman.
He thinks he can bring it, but he can't?
Yeah, he thinks he can bring it, but no, that's my dog. And, we spend a lot of time together, and he sings around me. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you have to stop. Like, it's just not for you. That's cool.
But who'd win it?
I think DeMaje Harris would probably win it. That's my dog right there. He makes music on the side, so he thinks he's cool. But that's my dog. He can sing. He can put some lyrics together.
Same with Dancing with the Stars. Who's the best dancer? Who's the worst dancer on this team?
The best dancer. I mean, I might be a little biased, but I have to give it to my little brother. I have a little brother on the team. His name's Cameron Griffin, number 29 on defense, and he can get after it dancing. Now I'll tell you that.
He's not as good as Big Brother. I mean, Big Brother's not as good.
Nah, I can't dance with him, but he'll be better than me at football for sure.
All right, then. Okay, now who's the worst dancer?
Ooh, the worst dancer on the team, I probably got to give it to Savon Ray. I mean, to be as nimble as he is on the field, you think he'd probably give off you a couple dance moves, but, man, Savon can't dance to save his life.
Final question I always ask. 10, 15 years down the road, you're married, got a couple kids, heading out into town. Which one of your teammates is going to babysit your kids? Which one of your teammates not going to get near your kids?
If I'm just going off of right now, I probably wouldn't let RJ Carver get near my kids just because he's a jokester, man. He might have him doing all types of stuff. And who I would probably let babysit my kids, I'd probably let Devin Gibbs babysit my kids. Because D. Gibbs, he's just he's a real mellow guy. He just kind of chill. So I kind of let them, hang out with him a little bit and, get to know him.
I lied. One more question. What coach can you beat in arm wrestling?
I can for sure beat Coach Ross in an arm wrestling match.
hey, we got a challenge after this show's over, man. Kalen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck Saturday against McNeese State.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we're back to Little Woodrow's on News Talk 560 KLVI. Joshua Feely with us with Lamar Cardinals. 6'2 senior. Katie Single Ranch. Just talk about your playing days at Brown.
Yes, sir.
How were you playing in Brown? How was that for you?
It was a great experience. I love the guys there. I love the coaches there still. Have a lot of love for everyone there in the school and the community. As far as football goes, I was fortunate to have success in my senior year or, my junior year eligibility-wise. But, I keep in touch with a lot of guys there, a lot of my teammates that I graduated with. So, overall it was a great experience.
And now here at Lamar University.
Yeah.
Just talk about your trip back to Texas.
Yeah, I was actually talking to KG about it earlier. So I graduated from Brown May 28th. I flew back home May 29th, and then I moved to Beaumont and started workouts and everything May 30th. So, it was a quick transition from Brown to here, but, it was smooth. The coaches helped me out with everything. My teammates were great. I have a lot of love for those guys too. So, as far as playing at Lamar, it's been a whole lot of fun too. As far as, winning and everything, it's great to win. Unfortunately, we didn't have that much success at Brown, but, this is probably the closest I've been to winning a championship here. So, a lot of love for Lamar as well.
Putting on that uniform for the final time Saturday, what's that going to mean?
Man, it hasn't really hit me yet, Football has been a big part of my life for the past, 10 plus years of my life. So, to potentially put it on for the last time, I really can't even begin to think about the enormity of it, So
Up against the clock here, real quick here. Best dancer on your team, the worst dancer on your team.
I probably gotta go best dancer. Probably Casey's little brother, Cam. He's a pretty good dancer. Worst dancer. I don't know. Probably. I honestly don't know. I feel like the guys who are bad dancers probably don't show it. So.
What about singing?
Singing. I don't know. I haven't heard too many guys sing. Yeah, no, I really can't answer that one either. Sorry.
All right, then plans after graduation.
Yeah, so the long-term goal is law school. So right now I'm actually in the application process. So I'm planning on going to law school this coming August. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be doing after graduation, long-term wise, but short-term wise, just finding a job that's working up until then.
Thanks, Josh. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it from Little Woodrow's, and we'll see you Saturday.